Hey Bowtie Nation, Joseph Hogue here with Let's Talk Money. Thank you for tuning in to another one of these informal videos where we're just trying to make sense of this whole mess. And today we're going to leave those investing ideas for something that's probably even more important for a lot of people out there. More than 20 million Americans have been put out of work over the last 4 weeks alone. That's a historic jobless rate. It's 1 out of every 8 people, and it doesn't include about 5 million people that were already out of work before that, or the millions more that are going to file unemployment over the weeks to come. So today I wanted to highlight 5 companies hiring for work from home jobs right now. Some great jobs here, excellent pay that you can make right from home. I'm also going to show you what it's like to work from home and 3 tips that are going to be absolutely critical to making it a success, making more money, and just not losing your sanity. Okay, I've been working full-time from home since 2013, and I can tell you it's not what you hear about. It's not all it's cracked up to be. I love it, but there's also unique challenges that you need to know about and how to face them, or you're going to just burn out fast. So make sure you check out those tips at the end of the video. I'll also be linking in the video description below to a few side hustle ideas. So if you're not able to find that work at home, that remote work job that you like, you can use one of these side hustle ideas to make just as much money and really have more control working for yourself. Now, nation, the jobs fallout from this thing is a lot bigger than I think most people will realize. We have over 25 million people unemployed, over 15% of the workforce, a number that we haven't seen since the Great Depression, and this is happening all over the world. There is nowhere that isn't seeing that double-digit unemployment right now. And you've got to ask yourself if a lot of these jobs are ever going to come back. A lot of those traditional retail jobs, the travel and the tourism companies that are never going to reopen, and a lot of their workers, if you're sitting at home right now, you need to start looking at some of these remote jobs, these remote work from home jobs that are going to be more secure and give you more freedom. But now this isn't just about getting that work at home job, but about being in front of those trends that we're seeing in hiring. Okay, all the work at home jobs and the companies that I'm going to show you right now take advantage of that shift in work and the types of jobs that are going to be growing in demand over the next 10 years or more. So I want to highlight those 5 companies, but I'll also be pointing out these trends here so you can look for those remote jobs at other companies that are going to allow you to grow into those most demanded jobs and the best pay. First here, CVS is hiring registered nurses, enrollment associates, and pharmacy technicians. This is going to be the single biggest trend that we'll look at, that explosion in healthcare remote jobs, and it's a great industry to be in, not just for the virus epidemic right now, but the industry is really growing. Nation, I worked as a labor economist for 5 years for the state of Iowa, and no sector out there is growing as fast as healthcare. Now, with billions of stimulus money going into to improve our nation's healthcare capacity and its response, these are the jobs that are going to be growing. Okay, CVS is paying between $18 to $34 an hour for those telenursing jobs and almost $12 an hour for pharmacy tech and those enrollment associates. So this is a company you can start with little or no experience and then grow into those other jobs to make more money. Aetna is actually a part of CVS now, but I wanted to highlight it separately because it's another big theme that we're seeing, hiring remote work at these health insurance companies. So besides Aetna though, we're also seeing a lot of these work at home jobs from United Health, Humana. They're all hiring those outreach coordinators, health coaches, nurses, people just to review all the claims that they're getting for this. Now, Aetna is offering $35,000 a year for claims review, up to $65,000 a year for health coaches and other coordinator jobs. So again, anything in that healthcare or that insurance space, we're seeing a lot of these jobs go remote where you'll do all your work from home, or you'll have a local area where you coordinate with customers. Kelly Services is one of the largest staffing firms, and it's also hiring work from home people for its own Kelly Connect virtual jobs agency. So the idea here is that 20 plus million people unemployed, when businesses do start hiring again, those staffing firms are going to be the first to benefit from this. And that's going to mean they're going to be hiring as well. Again, what I like here is that you can get that entry-level job and then grow into those higher paying positions within the company. Right now, they're hiring for data entry, administrative assistance, software testing, tech support, all jobs you can do virtually, and they start from $11 to $16 an hour. This next one is more of a theme and really a group of companies like K-12, Great Minds, and VIP Kid. Okay, these are all virtual teaching and tutoring companies and probably the single biggest demand for at-home employment right now. Now, this is another trend that we've been seeing over the last few years, that growth in online learning and tutoring. But with all the schools closed down right now, this has just exploded, and it's not going to end with when those schools open back up. The idea of virtual learning is just going to accelerate, and there are so many opportunities here. So the most obvious jobs here are for online tutors and teachers. Pay starts from around $12 an hour for tutors, but it's generally between $15 to $20 an hour on VIP Kid and K-12. For teachers, you're looking at more than $20 to $25 an hour at least. Now, requirements for tutors are usually some college coursework or in the subject or just prior experience tutoring. These companies are growing so fast that they're looking for more than just those frontline teachers. K-12 is hiring enrollment coordinators, curriculum developers, and counselors. This next one is more of that traditional work-from-home call center job, but I want to highlight live ops because these are some great opportunities here and probably one of the fastest remote work jobs you can get. Live ops has work-at-home jobs available for customer service, insurance agent, healthcare specialist with little or no prior experience required. They've got traditional 9 to 5 shifts as well as part-time and nights and weekend jobs. Pay here is going to be around $11 to $15 an hour, and this one is great for someone that just needs the money now. Maybe they don't qualify for some of those other companies hiring or the jobs available. You're an independent contractor with these, so you can choose your own hours, and for many you only need a phone and a computer. Now I want to share my experience working from home since 2013 and 3 tips that are going to make you as successful as possible. Honestly, Nation, this work from home lifestyle isn't as dreamy as it always sounds, but it does give you a lot more freedom and you can make a lot of money with this. So I've been working full-time from home for 7 years now and part-time for a few years before that. I worked as a contract employee, so working projects for specific companies as well as running my own online business. And I think that's a great model to follow, starting out as a remote worker for a specific company to get that certainty and that fixed pay, but also developing some online assets, maybe a side hustle you can grow to make more money. Okay, I worked contract for 3 years before I was making enough for my own business so that I could shift all my time to my own online work. But the first challenge you're going to face, and this is probably the biggest one as well, is just dealing with all those distractions when you work from home. And we're not talking about the screaming kids running around. Even if you're able to work in complete silence, there's always going to be those distractions like the internet, TV, the fridge that are just going to pull you away from your desk. How I beat this was by blocking my time. So I have a set schedule of when I do certain types of work. I'll do 3 hours of writing or scripting videos as soon as I get up and then give myself maybe an hour to answer emails and social media. Okay, then I'm going to schedule another 2 hours to work on sponsor outreach and projects after lunch. But so having this set schedule though gives me time to relax for maybe 15 minutes between blocks, but then I know exactly what I need to be doing during the rest of the time. I don't get up to grab a bite or see what's on TV because I don't have a choice. That time is already committed to something. Another challenge you're going to face as a remote worker is just that solitary nature of work. As annoying as coworkers can be sometimes, it's still nice to be in an office and around people. Okay, we're pack animals, all the way back to when we lived in caves and we feel that need to be social. So one of the best things you can do here for this is to have a mastermind group. Now that's 3 or 4 people, other people to talk to each week. And this can be virtually as a group call or just going out to a local cafe or something to meet with people. These are all like virtual coworkers because you all work in that same or a similar role. Now that one's more for those online entrepreneurs kind of person, so connecting with other people working online. But for those with a more traditional remote worker job, you can also just find a group on Facebook to connect with. It's important here to do that socializing outside your work hours. So don't let that group distract you from getting your work done during the day, but check in maybe 10 or 15 minutes a night and just virtually talk to other people. The third challenge you're going to find with these work-at-home jobs is just there's less security in the job. Now, part of the reason companies are shifting to this trend to independent workers or remote contractor positions is because they can let people go faster and they don't have all those employee costs. Now that makes it all the more important to have some kind of a side hustle or an online business set up for that income insurance. And by the end of my first year, I was making over $2,000 a month online. So not just that idea of extra money, but this can grow into a full-blown online business very quickly. But if you don't want to spend that 5 or 10 hours a week on that side hustle or some other kind of online business, then you need to make yourself unfireable to the company. This means learning how to do your job better. So that constant improvement and self-education, just generally treating your job like you own the company. That way, even if the company does start letting people go, you'll either be the last on the list or you'll have the reference to get another job fast. Click on the video to the right for the 10 highest paying jobs with no degree requirement. 10 jobs you can get with minimal training or education and be making up to $80,000 a year or more. Don't forget to join the Let's Talk Money community by tapping that subscribe button and clicking the bell notification.